Hello, welcome to Dong Nai Radio and Television Station. Here comes the news today. According to data from Vietnam Department of Aquatic Products Processing and Development, in the first 2 months of this year, seafood export reached 932 million USD, down 15.9% over the same period in 2019. Due to the negative impact of the COVID-19 epidemic, seafood export decreased sharply compared to the same period last year, of which the strongest decline was in China of 43.48%, followed by South Korea, the US, and Japan, down 31.53%, 26.34%, and 28.16% respectively. Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development estimates that in the coming time, agriculture in general and seafood in particular will face many difficulties, namely the impact of climate change causing drought and saltwater intrusion in the Mekong Delta. Also, the anti-dumping tax rates on the U.S. market decrease, lower fuel prices, equivalent recognition of food safety management and control systems on catfish products will be a favorable basis for Vietnam's seafood products to compete better than on the world market. With these signals, the whole seafood industry still targets a total output of 8.5 million tons. The export value is about 10 billion USD in 2020. From March the 16th, people have to wear masks when going to public places such as supermarkets, airports, railway stations, and bus stations. This direction of Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc shows high determination in halting the possibility of widespread acute respiratory infection, COVID-19. Records in some hospitals in Dong Nai province shows that most people and health workers are seriously implementing. Recognizing on the first day of implementing the Prime Minister's direction on wearing masks to prevent COVID-19 disease, most people were aware of the dangers of this disease and strictly implement mask-wearing policy. Mr. Nguyễn Đức Vân, Long Bình Tân Ward in Bien Hoa City, if there is no epidemic, we should wear it to protect us from the dust or the sunlight. When there is a pandemic, we should also prevent infection. Implementing the direction of the Prime Minister, in addition to reminding and instructing people to wear masks or wash hands for prevention, hospitals have been equipped with masks for health workers and strengthening monitor this implementation on a daily basis. Dr. Ngô Đức Tuấn, director of Dong Nai General Hospital, said that all patients who enter the hospital must have their temperature taken and mask on. Medical personnel each are equipped with 3 cloth masks for indirect staff and 1 medical mask for direct staff. According to the doctors, wearing masks for people who are not sick to avoid inhaling large droplets containing many viruses from the opposite person. As for people who are in the incubation phase, wearing a mask has the effect of preventing the spread of the virus, because if we do not wear a mask, the virus-containing droplets can shoot as far as 2 meters. Another thing to note is that people do not necessarily use a medical mask, but just a regular cloth mask still have the same effect. The first human trial to evaluate the candidate vaccine against the new coronavirus has begun in Seattle, U.S., health officials said on Monday, raising hopes in the global fight against the disease. The open-label trial will enroll 45 healthy adult volunteers ages 18 to 55 years old, approximately 6 weeks, the U.S. National Institutes of Health said. The first participant received the investigational vaccine yesterday. On the same day, the Flemish Biotechnology Research Institute announced that it had discovered an antibody that neutralized the COVID-19 virus. However, the institute says that more research is needed to confirm the true effectiveness of this antibody. Russia's Constitutional Court on Monday gave its approval to an attempt by Vladimir Putin to reset the count on his presidential terms, opening the way for him to run again for president in 2024, when term limits would have forced him to step down. These amendments have been approved by the Russian National Duma National Assembly and the Federal Council, as well as the Legislative Assembly. These amendments will apply to the president, government members, and government officials at many levels, strengthen social security for citizens, and grant more power to parliament. This amendment also allowed the incumbent president to run for re-election in 2024. After being ratified by the Constitutional Court, President Putin will request a national vote on the revised text. All Russian citizens over the age of 18 will have the right to vote on April 22nd. If the amendment to the Constitution receives more than 50% of the votes cast, the amendment will be effective on the day the voting results are published. That's all for the news today. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.